Whisper Not. This is a trio outing, recorded live in Paris in 1999. Excellent album, really nice choice of material there as well. The three musicians are in fine form. Bouncing with Bud starts off very well. Great groove, beautiful bass lines, and Jarrett's piano effortlessly gliding over the whole thing. Whisper Not, grooving high, Chelsea Bridge, Wrap Your Troubles in Dreams, Round Midnight, Sandu. Disc 2 has What Is This Thing Called Love, Conception, Prelude to a Kiss, Hallucinations, All My Tomorrows, Ponciana, When I Fall in Love. Yeah, a great album, and certainly one of the essential Jarrett albums. You get a discography, and goes through all the albums and the content. Nice touch. Inside Out. This is another trio outing. This was recorded in London. These pieces are improvised. From the Body, Inside Out, 341, Free Fade, Riot, When I Fall in Love. That's the only standard on here. It was recorded in the Royal Festival Hall, July 26th and 28th, 2000. The musicians explore different types of rhythms and forms, and quite an interesting album with some nice lively playing on it. A nice picture of the trio in action. Always Let Me Go, live in Tokyo. This was recorded in April 2001 at Orchard Hall and Bunka Kaikan, Tokyo. Again, an album of improvised pieces. Double CD, so it's quite long. This one is certainly not one you kind of listen to all the way through. You take bits from it. Some of the pieces are very, very long. Hearts in Space, The River, Tributaries, Paradox, Waves, Facing East, Tsunami, Relay. Great photograph here inside the booklet of the instrument setup and no musician. Exciting to think that they can make so much magical music from the instruments. Up for It. This is another trio album, recorded live in Juan-les-Pins, France, July 2002. Great set list on this. I actually bought this in the Royal Festival Hall at a Jarrett concert. It was my first time seeing the trio in May 2003. So on the way in, they were selling CDs, and this was his latest album, and I grabbed it. So yeah, some nice stuff on this. If I Were a Bell, Butch and Butch, My Funny Valentine, Scrapple from the Apple, Someday My Prince Will Come, 2 Degrees East, 3 Degrees West, Autumn Leaves, Up for It. Inside the booklet, you can see them playing in the wet. It was a very wet day. They were going to cancel the gig. I actually was lucky enough to see them play in Juan-les-Pins in 2005, 2006 and 2007. And I must say they were fantastic concerts. The OutofTowners. This is another trio album. Nice material on this. Recorded at State Opera, Munich, July 28, 2001. Intro. I Can't Believe That You're in Love with Me. You've Changed. I Love You. The OutofTowners. 5 Brothers. It's All in the Game. That's just Jarrett on his own. That's actually a very, very nice little tune. Another great shot here of the musicians in action. Radiance. This is a piano solo live in Japan. This is a double, and there's a lot of music on this. It's long, over 2 hours and 19 minutes. Something that you probably wouldn't take in one sitting, but for the discipline. The Carnegie Hall concert. This is another solo outing. Carnegie Hall, New York. It's a double. Improvised concert, and the second part of the concert itself are the encores. The Good America, Paint My Heart Red, fantastic tune. My Song, True Blues, Time on My Hands. There's Keith blasting away, and the track listing. My Foolish Heart, live at Montreux. Again, a trio outing, which is a double. Nice selection of material on this as well. It was recorded in 2001 at the Montreux Jazz Festival. CD1, 4, My Foolish Heart, Olio, What's New, The Song Is You, Ain't Misbehavin', that's actually a ragtime song. Honeysuckle Rose, You Took Advantage of Me, Straight No Chaser, Five Brothers, Guess I'll Hang My Tears Out to Dry, Green Dolphin Street, Only the Lonely. Here they are, the Standards Trio. Three guys that have saved jazz from mediocrity. Yesterdays. This is another trio outing. It was actually released on vinyl at the time as well, back in 2009. Strollin', You Took Advantage of Me, Yesterdays, Shaun Off, You've Changed, Scrapple from the Apple, A Sleeping Bee, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and Stella by Starlight. Stella by Starlight here is a soundboard recording as a rehearsal. Great photograph here of the trio rehearsing. Paris, London, Testament. This is another solo outing, recorded in Paris and London. Again, it's not for one sitting, as it's a 3-disc set. There's a lot of music on this. So here it is. This is pretty heavy stuff. The first disc is Paris, November 26th, 2008. Disc 2 and 3 are London, December 1st, 2008. I think Jarrett was going through a breakup with Roseanne Calvito at the time. So, yeah, it wasn't an easy time for him. Yasmin. This is a lighter mood altogether. Keith here is joined by Charlie Hayden on bass. So it's a duo recorded in Jarrett's home in the rolling hills of Pennsylvania. Nice stuff here, For All We Know. Where Can I Go Without You? No Moon at All. One Day I'll Fly Away. I'm Gonna Laugh You Right Out of My Life. Body and Soul. Goodbye. Don't Ever Leave Me. Here's Keith with Charlie, who's sadly no longer with us. Passed away in the last few years. Superb bass player. These sessions were recorded in March 2007. Rio. This is another solo outing by Keith in Brazil. Recorded live in Rio, April 9th, 2011. This is quite uplifting. It's a double, but it's quite buoyant and light. Picture on the inside of Keith enjoying an espresso. Sleeper. This was a big surprise when it was released back in 2012. A recording from 1979 by the European Quartet. Jan Gabarek, saxophone. Pal Danielson, double bass, and John Christensen, drums. This is from the Japanese leg of the tour. Contains Personal Mountains, which was also an album released back in 1989, which was also recorded in 1979. Innocence, So Tender, Oasis, Chant of the Soil, Prism, New Dance. These kind of archive releases are the things that the fans really want, and it's a pity that they don't put out more. This is great material, and it's from another age, but yeah, certainly worth investigating. Somewhere. This is another trio outing. It's from a concert in Lucerne in July 2009. Deep Space, Solar, Stars Fell on Alabama, Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, Somewhere, Everywhere, Tonight, I Thought About You. Great playing on this, and certainly one of the more engaging of the trio albums in the last 15 years. Musicians flailing away. Johann Sebastian Bach, 6 sonatas for violin and piano. Michelle McCarthy, Keith Jarrett. This is a double on the ECM new series. Keith is joined by Michelle on violin while he plays piano. Center page of the book has a beautiful colour photograph of the room where the sessions were recorded in 2010. No End. This excited me back in 2013 when I heard it was coming out. Reason being, it was recorded in 1986 at Cave Light Studio, New Jersey, which is Keith's recording studio. The instruments he's playing are electric guitars, Fender bass, drums, tablas, percussion, voice, recorder, piano. The piano doesn't feature on a lot of the tracks. There's a lot of guitar and bass on there. These recordings were recorded on cassettes at the time. Sound is still quite good, a little bit of hiss. It's a 2 CD set, it's quite long. Producer's note: play this music loud, especially tracks 2 to 20, since many inner details will be lost at lower volumes. Yeah, it's like Spirits, which was something he did in 1985 in his home studio, using just tape recorders and overdubbing instruments, percussion. His guitar playing is not as engaging as his piano, but yeah, it's got a kind of an innocence to it. You know, he's not a virtuoso on the guitar by any means, but it's kind of got a 60s feel to it, you know. It's kind of meanders and stuff like that. But yeah, it's worth checking out and see what you think. Last Dance, this was released in 2014. It's more or less the second lot of sessions with Charlie Hayden. More material here. My Old Flame, My Ship, Round Midnight, Dance of the Infidels, It Might As Well Be Spring, Everything Happens to Me, Where Can I Go Without You, Every Time We Say Goodbye, Goodbye. Again, a nice collection, and like I said, Hayden's bass is bouncy and strong. Sometimes I kind of long for a drummer to be in there. That's the way I feel about this. Hamburg 72. This is a live recording from back then. This is the American quartet, but minus Dewey Redman. There's also a bootleg version which has the Redman tracks on it. This is only the single disc version. It was recorded for radio. He plays piano, flute, percussion, soprano, saxophone. Charlie Hayden double bass, Paul Motion, drums, percussion. Rainbow, Everything That Lives, Laments, Piece for Ornate, Take Me Back, Life, Dance, Song for Shay. It's a little bit aimless in some parts, you know, there's no strong direction. Again, it's kind of like an archive release with some interesting things on it. It's a shame they didn't do the whole concert. Some great photographs in the booklet. This is one here. Samuel Barber, Piano Concerto, Opus 38. Vila Bartok, Piano Concerto No. 3. Keith Jarrett, Tokyo Encore. This is from the 80s. It was released in 2015. It's a bit of an oddity. The Barber parts are great. I think it was recorded on cassette from a concert soundboard. It features the Rundfunk Sinfonorchestra Saarbrücken, conducted by Dennis Russell Davis. New Japan Philharmonic Orchestra, Kazuyoshi Akiyama. Samuel Barber section was recorded in 1984. Bartok, January 1985, as well as the Tokyo Encore. Photo of Keith on the inside, grinning like a Cheshire cat. Creation. This was released in 2015 also. It contains live improvised selections from Tokyo, Toronto, Paris and Rome. So there's 9 parts from around the world really, and all improvised, and yeah, it's interesting and a bit unusual the way it's compiled, but I guess that's the way he wanted it. After the Fall, this is a fantastic concert, trio outing. It was recorded on November 14, 1998 at New Jersey Performing Arts Centre, Newark. The Masquerade is Over, Scrapple from the Apple, Old Folks, Autumn Leaves, Bouncing with Bud, Doxy, I'll See You Again, Late Lament, One for Majid, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Moment's Notice, When I Fall in Love. In the liner notes, Keith said he recorded this with 2 microphones and a digital recorder, a DAT machine or something, and quality is exceptional as well, and the playing is spot on. In the sleeve notes, he was saying that he was suffering from chronic fatigue from 96 to 98, but the playing lifted him up. La Venice. This is a solo concert from Venice. It was recorded at the Grand Teatro La Venice, Venice, July 2006. Disc 1 has parts 1 through 5. Disc 2 has part 6, The Sun Whose Rays, part 7, part 8, and then My Wild Irish Rose, Stella by Starlight, and Blossom. J.S. Bach, The Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. No, this isn't a mistake, but it's actually the live recording of the Bach Book 1, which was recorded back in 1987. Here you a younger Keith in the photograph. These live recordings are less strict and a little bit more personal. Well worth investigating. Munich 2016. This is another solo piano concert and also a double. Recorded live July 16th, 2016 at Philharmonic Hall, Munich. Is the latest Keith Jarrett album. His output is staggering, and I must be absolutely crazy making videos like this. But there you have it. That's Keith on ECM compact disc, and this is the final, for now, of 4 videos. So go check them out, and I'd like to say thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. Take care.